Good morning, Acton, and welcome to Java with John, hosted by Town Manager John Mangiaratti. Java with John streams every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on ActonTV's YouTube channel. You can also listen live on the radio at 94.9 FM. Tune in weekly for important information from the Town Manager, Health Department, and Council on Aging, as well as a variety of special guests. Residents can contact us with questions or comments at 978-929-6611 or email manager@actonma.gov.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Java with John program, February 5th. I hope you're watching from home on YouTube, or maybe listening on radio 94.9, or maybe you're catching this on ActonTV. Either way, it's nice to have you with us this morning. We have a great lineup of guests. Sharon Mercurio, Council on Aging Director, will speak with us as usual. Anita Opitz, owner of Michael's Shoe Boutique, which you all know, is here to talk a little bit about what she's doing with her store. And Andrea Becerra, who is one of our newest employees here in Acton, our Sustainability Director. She'll be telling you a little bit about what she's been up to in her first week on the job. So before we get to that, I just wanted to do normal updates and give some updates on where we are with things. Of course, here we are almost a year into this pandemic. And while vaccine rollout isn't going as quickly as some people would hope, it is happening, and vaccines are being administered. I'm very excited that we held our first clinic yesterday with some of our senior residents at Windsor Green, and it went really well. I want to thank our team involved in that. Sharon's part of that, and she'll be mentioning that further. So it's very exciting, and we hope that the state will give us more vaccines and we can do a wider clinic as these weeks roll on. So stay tuned on this program and on our website and on the Council on Aging website and Facebook to get the latest on that. There is an interest form that we've published where if you would like to submit your information so that we have it available to us as we start to roll out more vaccine information, we want to be able to quickly contact people and say, you're eligible. Would you like to sign up? We can't guarantee availability, but we just want to have people's information in the event that we are able to secure vaccines from the state. I'm optimistic that they're going to start releasing more. This week they only gave us 100, which doesn't go very far, but it's a start. So we're very excited about that. I hope you all saw the Municipal Monthly. It was a digital version only this month, so check it out online. The Board of Selectmen announced a special election. Joan Gardner, as I mentioned last week, is retiring as a selectman in June. And so the board actually called a special election to fill her seat. The special election will be June 29th. So stay tuned for information on that. And there is, of course, the normal town election taking place on March 30th. Tax bills were due on February 1st. There was a lot of questions about that. Town hall is closed to the public, but people are available. If you have a question, if you just call in, or we'll come out and talk to you, or certainly call from home and we'll talk to you. And there's a drop off at town hall that people have been utilizing. I think it's gone pretty well. Our Veteran Services Officer, James McRae, sent out a mailing to all veterans, I think last week. And one of the things that was announced in there is that the Bedford VA is providing vaccines to veterans 65 and older, which is great news. But he actually just called me this morning because the Bedford VA announced this morning that it's actually being made available to folks 50 and over. So if you got that mailing and you're 58, good news. You can call the Bedford VA and see about getting a vaccine. If you have questions about that, call James or call our hotline 978-929-6600. In terms of cases right now, we've seen some spikes in the community. We're at about 30 cases in the community right now. We hope that that's going to continue to trend downward. The big Super Bowl is on Sunday, and we're advising people to use caution and try to enjoy it with your family. That's what I'll be doing. So I hope you all do the same. I think those are all the updates that I had. Why don't we see what's going on with Sharon? Good morning, Sharon.
Morning, John. Thank you. Yes, as John spoke about, very exciting. We had our first COVID vaccine clinic at housing yesterday. Went really well. the interest form has really come in handy. What happened, we were able to have some extra spots that opened up for the clinic and reach out to folks on that interest list and call them to come down to get the vaccine. So like John said, you can find it on the town's website, or you can also find it on actoncoa.com, our website as well. It's a short online form. If you need assistance filling it out, you can call the hotline or the senior center. Our number at the senior center is 978-929-6652. And at this point in time, we're not able to schedule any vaccine clinics until the vaccine's actually in hand. So sometimes it's this mad rush to get folks vaccinated and to contact them. So having that information at our fingertips has been really helpful. And at this time, we're prioritizing by age. So the oldest residents were the ones that were called first yesterday to come in and fill some of those open slots. So again, really important to get that information filled out. As far as the senior center goes, we're still doing a lot of programs virtually and available on ActonTV. On Monday at 10 o'clock, we have mindfulness and meditation. At 2 o'clock, Words Galore. Those will both be on Zoom. Tuesday, Tips with Terry at 10 o'clock in the morning. Our infamous exercise instructor has a lovely group where she chats with folks, gives some nutritional updates, some quick, easy exercises you can be doing at home. And then at the same time is our COA board meeting, and the link's available if you'd like to attend that. Wednesday afternoon at 1:30 is Computer Club. Thursday, we're having our grab and go lunch. It'll be turkey sandwiches. And we do have a little surprise. Joy Aguel, who is the dining room coordinator, will be joining us on the sidewalk. So she's got a little goodie bag to hand out. She wasn't able to formally say goodbye due to the height of the pandemic, but will be joining us on Thursday at noon. So if you haven't signed up, please do so. And then next Friday at 11, we have a program on American writers. So any questions, feel free to call. Our newsletter went out, so loaded with wonderful programs. And thanks again for joining us today.
Thank you, Sharon. Nice work as always. Yes, please fill out that vaccine interest form. And if you have trouble with that, call the Council on Aging, call the hotline, and we'd be happy to help you. Not everybody's as good with the computer as other, but we're here to help you with that. Our next guest is Andrea Becerra. Andrea is our sustainability director who started the last week of January, and she has it all figured out for us, right? No, Andrea, please let us know a little bit about yourself and what you've been up to your first few weeks. Thanks for joining the program.
Sure. Thanks, John. Well, before joining the town of Acton, I'd been working on sustainable development for over 8 years. This includes 5 years with the Natural Resources Defense Council, which is a nonprofit. With NRDC, I worked on a variety of issues, including advocacy at the national and regional level to promote clean water and air through communications campaigns, such as the U.S. Clean Power Plan. But while here in Acton on week 2, so far I've met lots of really great people. I've met representatives from Mothers Out Front, from Green Acton, from the Acton Climate Coalition, from the Acton Boxborough District, Kate Crosby. I've met with the Green Advisory Board, also with town staff, facilities, natural resources, land use planning, public works, and many more. So one of the benefits, one of the very few benefits of this very remote work situation we have set up now is that it's very efficient to meet a lot of people. So it's been 2 weeks full of lots of meetings and back-to-back Zoom calls. And people have been very gracious with their time and very generous, sending me a lot of resources over email. I have a lot to read and a lot of newsletters to sign up for, thanks to all the people that have been pointing me in the different directions.
Yes, it's certainly been, you've been doing a lot of Zooming, that's for sure. So this program is this generally done at the senior center, as we mentioned in the intro, and I think this is a good opportunity for you to connect with the seniors and everyone else that watches it. What can you in your time here, what do you think some Acton residents can do to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions as an individual?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I have a little graphic. I'm gonna go ahead and just show it, just so you can get a really quick snapshot of what emissions look like in Acton, and let me know if you see that pretty well.
We can see it, yes, but you may need to just talk through it for those radio listeners.
Right. So for those of you who aren't able to see this, you can definitely watch the YouTube video afterwards, but I will describe it. It's a graph depicting the emissions here in Acton. So Acton emits about 241,390 metric tons of CO2 emission equivalent. So this is from a Cadmus report from 2019. Municipal operations make up about 5.3%. So that's the town of Acton property, the Acton-Boxborough Regional School District, and the Acton Water District. So that's about 10.2 metric tons per capita. I know that doesn't mean a lot for a lot of people. So just to give you some comparisons, in Somerville, it's 8.2 metric tons per capita. In Cambridge, it's about 13.8. And in the US overall, it's about 15.5. So we're somewhere in the middle in that range. Obviously, very different regions, very different infrastructures. And for some additional context, the global average is about 4.8. Transportation is our biggest source of emissions. So that's mostly from cars on the road, followed by stationary, so our buildings, our residential buildings, and our commercial and manufacturing buildings. And then our smallest is waste, so solid waste, wastewater treatment, and natural gas leaks. For those of you who can't see it, the metric tons per capita are depicted with a person who's recycling. That's because I think Actonians, a lot of the Actonians I've met are working really hard to do their part. And as was shown by the near unanimous approval to declare a climate emergency, the town is very ready to take ambitious action on climate change. So as a sustainability director, my goal is to make it easier for both the town and citizens to really tackle these emissions. So John, you asked what are things Actonians can do today. So I'm gonna list 3 quick things right now, and hopefully it's relevant for the audiences who are tuning in. The first one is checking out Mass Save. So this might be pertinent to you or to a family member who lives in a building that hasn't had the building inspected for efficiency, potential energy efficiency savings. So a contractor comes, visits your building, and spots places where cool air is rushing in the winter, or cool air is rushing out in the summer. So that's a lot of energy wasted and a lot of dollars lost. So you can visit masssave.com to check out, find out how you can get your home inspected for energy efficiency savings and upgrades. You can also find rebates there if you're getting a new appliance. Finally, if you or someone that you know is thinking of buying a new car, you might want to consider buying electric. Many times, it might be more affordable than you think. I think oftentimes people think it's very expensive to buy an electric vehicle, but there are rebates offered in Massachusetts, and there are tax incentives, federal tax incentives that might decrease that upfront cost. Also, if you're looking at the long-term savings of an electric vehicle, you might find that it might be actually more cost-efficient over time. The maintenance is often much more affordable, and charging a vehicle can sometimes be cheaper than powering it with gas. Not only that, but we'll be seeing a lot more EVs in the coming decades. Massachusetts just passed a mandate to ban gas-powered vehicles by 2035. So the infrastructure is improving. So you'll be seeing a lot more places to charge an electric vehicle. Finally, the third one is opting up to Acton Power Choice Green. So if you could talk to a family member and tell them about this option. Essentially, all Acton residents have the opportunity, and businesses have the opportunity to opt to the 100% renewable energy option. When you opt into this option, you're supporting clean energy development right here in New England. You're supporting clean jobs in New England, which is really important right now in this current situation that we're living in the pandemic. And one of the other benefits is that you get a fixed electric supply price through November 2022, and you can opt out whenever you want. So you're not locked into any sort of contract or price. So that's another really great benefit. So those are the few things that we can do. There's a lot the town is already doing, and there's a lot more work left to be done. So very excited to be part of this effort. We will be including links to all of the different resources I mentioned below in the description in the YouTube channel. So thank you very much, John.
Thank you, Andrea. That's a lot of information. Great work. Looks like you're off to a quick start here, and look forward to continuing to working with you. And I know that once we're open again at the Senior Center, we'd love to have you come over and talk to the seniors in person. So thank you.
I look forward to that. Thank you.
Our next guest, Anita Opitz, is the owner who runs Michael's Shoe Boutique, which is in Gould's Plaza, right on Great Road. Anita, nice to see you again. Thanks for coming on the program. What's going on at the boutique?
Thank you for inviting me. Well, right now it's pretty quiet, but as many people actually may not even know that the store reopened, we have quite a few people come in who say, "Oh, we didn't even know." So that's the first thing I wanted to let people know. Yes, Michael's Shoe still exists, but it's now Michael's Shoe Boutique. And I took over right before the crisis hit last year in February, basically, now a year ago. And so I'm keeping the same good quality. My focus is really good quality shoes. And I have had a lot of guidance in the beginning from the previous sales team. They told me which brands are important. And I was a customer myself for 15 years. It was always my favorite shoe store. And then the opportunity opened up at the beginning of last year when Michael and Kevin decided to retire and were looking for a buyer. And I needed a new mission. I was looking for something to do that would be meaningful. And so it just all fell into place and worked out so that I could take over the store. And so we've been going through a little bit of a difficult time, obviously, to getting a store started in the middle of the crisis. But we are actually pretty happy with all the shoes that we already have. And we are getting a lot of good feedback. People are happy that we are still here. And it's just, for me, I really believe you have to try on a shoe. I don't know what else. Do you have any concrete questions? I don't really know what else I could say that would be important for people to hear, but
I think it's important for people to know that you're here and that you're one of our small businesses that we really try to support. And it's Michael's Shoe, I know, has been around for a long time, but now it's under new leadership, new ownership, and it's great to have you on the program. I guess as a shoe customer, I have a question. What is your most popular shoe and why?
My most popular shoe? Well, I think right now, obviously, walking shoes, comfortable walking shoes, but in general, what I want to tell people is that, and that's something I will be working on, is to not be so focused on a brand, but really go in and be open-minded and just look at the shoes and try them on. That's the most important, because sometimes you see a shoe and it just doesn't tell you how it will fit on your foot. And as I'm just one person, and before there were two owners, I have many of the brands that they used to carry, I have them already, but I'm going to focus on maybe having less, but more. Like, for me, my focus is really quality. And as being just one owner, I may not be able to have all the brands. So just try what I have and see how it fits, and then you will know. So it's really how it fits on each foot. It's different. All our feet are different. So it's difficult to say which one is the best shoe, because it really depends on you and your foot and what your need is. If you're walking a lot, if you're running, if you're standing a lot. So there's a different shoe for everything.
So if someone wanted to figure out what the right shoe is for them, what are your hours? Are you open every day? Are you closed on any days?
Well, right now we are closed on Sundays, and I will probably reopen on Sundays when it gets a little busier. And we are open from 10 to 5 now every day. And I was open from 10 to 6 before, but we are doing 10 to 5 right now every day. And except Saturday, it's 10 to 4 and Sunday closed.
And I imagine you have things related to footwear like socks and things like that. But I was looking at your website. It looks like you're also offering some other things, interesting art.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I forgot to mention. So it's not only shoes. It's so my slogan is shoes for happy feet, but I'm also supporting local artists. And my plan initially was to even have music in the store. I couldn't do that, obviously, now with the crisis, but at some point I'm planning to have like open mics or something happy in the store, not just so that it's not just about shoes. It's supposed to be a destination, just a happy place. It was always a happy place for me because they have the German brands and I'm from Germany. And that's how I came to the store. Yeah, when I came to the store, that was just what brought me back because it made me feel a little bit more like at home. And so we have consignment, we have some pottery and paintings, jewelry, and then we have shoes and socks and leg warmers, arm warmers, all kinds of things, little things, accessories also.
Everything you need over at Michael's Shoe Boutique. Well, good. Well, thank you. Thanks for talking a little bit about your store, and we hope folks will come see you 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday. And I look forward to seeing you soon, Anita. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
And I will check the phone banks to see if any calls are coming in. It looks like people are focused on the snow, and there are no questions, which is a good thing. So thank you to our guests and thank you to the folks behind the scenes, and we'll see you all again next Friday.